Hi everybody, my name is Shannon. Welcome to my channel, Another Yarn. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. Oh my gosh, wonderful day. It is. But wait, I have admin stuff. Yeah, that's when you're doing an announcement, right? Yeah. Okay, so if you could go ahead and check and verify that you are still subscribed to me, I would greatly appreciate it. I have gotten some notification from a couple of people that they were unsubscribed. And I kind of assumed that because my numbers, my subscribers, I've been losing subscribers and it's not on a video. Normally, you can go into whatever and you can see like, I don't like what she said and I'm out of here. I understand that, right? We're all different people. But it wasn't like that. And I'm going through that. YouTube is like, she must be talking to people lately. We're going to get rid of them. So if you could go ahead and do that, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. That'd be great. Yeah, there's that. Oh, what am I wearing? This is the Scandens top. Yes, love this. And it is made out of Arcane Fiberworks yarn. I absolutely love Arcane Fiberworks yarn. I did an enable alert announcement yesterday up until 1 January, and they are 20% off. For US dollars, he's a Canada. Arcane Fiberworks is in Canada. But for US dollars, that puts it down to $20.80 a skein. This sweater, I'm an XL by the way, took 4 full skeins of yarn. Fingering weight. This is fingering weight. And the free pattern, this is a free pattern. I'll link it down below if you're interested. Absolutely wonderful, fun stuff. And those that have been around for a while know my husband. Maybe not personally, but when it comes to yarn, that man has no hesitation on pushing the button. He is a massive yarn enabler. I hesitate for a while. I have enough. I mean, let's face it. I have enough beautiful yarn. And I hesitate. And I like to fill my cart and then abandon it and fill my cart and empty it and do that. Well, I came home from work today and I was talking about how excited I was because one of these cubicles, right? One of these cubicles, I just pulled out some yarn to make the baby tops that I'm working on, the baby sweaters. And it looks like it's going to take 2 skeins of yarn, which does take up a little bit of a chunk in the cubicle. So I had that and I said, I've got the next one planned and here you go. That's going to be 4 of them out of there and that's going to make a dent. And he said, good, because you got some yarn coming. What? I didn't order any yarn. I didn't say, whatever you had in the cart for Arcane Fiberworks, I pushed the button. Oh, uh-oh. What did you get? And he said, well, you're the one that had it in the cart. I'm like, yeah, but I had things back. I was doing this. I was like, do I want this? And I'd pick up a bunch and I'd fill up my cart. Like, here's a sweater quantity and here's a sweater quantity and here's this. And then I put it back and I'd go for different colors. I'm like, what'd you get? And he's like, I don't know. You're the one that picked it. I figure if you had it in the cart, you must have wanted it. So, he was laughing. He was so proud of himself. He was so absolutely tickled. Because yesterday when I was talking about it, I've been hemming and hawing. I have a lot of Arcane Fiberworks yarn. I love it. I really, really do. And that Velvet Queen, have you seen that? It's got maroons and yellows, and I've been really into the yellows, right? And it's just, oh my gosh, it's just stunning, right? I mean, it's right up my alley. And it matches well with the Wine Time, which is another ruin. I've already got a couple of those, and it's supposed to match with some of the other bright yellows, and I've got some of that. I mean, it's like I am drooling hardcore, and it's okay. Back away, crazy lady. Yeah, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. He did. Yeah, he did. So, whenever that gets here, I will be totally thrilled and I will share whatever it was that he bought that I left in the cart. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's some fun stuff. So I came up here and I got sidetracked because that's what I do in my yarn room. I've been looking at things to do with my Advent, right? I had the Tangle Poet Advent this year, and it's the first time I've ever gotten an Advent calendar, and I'd kind of like to do something with it. I mean, I collect yarn. We're not going to lie about that. I'm not going to say, and I'm not going to lie to your face like that and say I have plans for everything and I'm going to use all of it. I have more here than, I have enough. So I would like to use this. I thoroughly enjoyed everything about this Advent. I liked the dollar value to the yarn that I particularly got. Each one of these minis is 30 grams. Most of the minis that you see on the advent calendars are 20 grams. So hello, bonus. So that means if I really wanted to, I could do something that takes 20 gram minis and then something else takes 10 gram minis. I mean, I could, right? There's options. You know, so I want to use it. I don't want it to just sit and languish. So many things sit and languish. I have great plans for them, you know, like, yeah, we know. We're crafters. We know. We have crafting good intentions. It's a thing. So I was looking at Ravelry because, you know, that's a time kill. And I should limit that. I should set an alarm. 5 minutes. You didn't find it. You didn't whatever. Walk away. I really should. Yes. Maybe you don't have that problem and you're more disciplined. I have been going down the rabbit hole, especially with the Advent stuff. So my whole thing was I want to do something large. I mean, that's a lot of yarn. Altogether, that's like 840 yards, 820 yards. I can't remember offhand, but it's a lot of yarn. You know, it's over 8 full skeins. And this was the 100 gram skein. I think this is gorgeous. I absolutely love it. I think when I do something with my Advent, I'm not going to use this one with it. I'll use something else as the tie-in color and use this as a standalone. It is beautiful. It does tie in with some of the other things, but for what I had in mind, I'm not sure this is what I want to use, but I would like to use as much as the others as possible. Well, I'd still like to use that just in a different project. So I was looking at some of the blankets because I wanted a shawl type blanket, and it's like a schlanket. I think that's how you say it. Oh, I know what I'm trying to say. It's not working. So, you know, big, huge, you can wear it as a blanket, shawl, whatever, you know, just big, comfy, cozy. And as I'm scrolling through, and I noticed I'm not against doing like blankets. Like you can do a square per color. I've seen the hexagons. Oh my gosh, those are really cool. You know, all sorts of things, right? You know, just different options. I thought, all right, some of the things that were really calling to me were surprisingly extremely simple. You had a blanket where the majority of it, well, it's pretty much all garter stitch. I don't want to do a full garter stitch blanket. That would take a lot of time. I know it's all knit. I understand that. But, you know, when you're doing garter stitch, you know, it takes more rows to get it taller than if you're doing stockinette stitch. Okay, so there is that, you know, so it'll definitely feel like, oh my gosh, this is never ending. But I liked the simplicity and I liked the blanket style. I liked the ripple afghans. Now, I saw a lot of those in crochet. You can do ripple and crochet or knit. It doesn't matter. You know, different patterns. Feather and fan is a ripple type of a Afghan too, as far as I'm concerned. So chevron, that's another name for it, right? So a lot of those really appealed to me because I like the movement of color and then use a different tie-in, well, a different tie-in color than what this 100 gram skein is, but a tie-in color for all of them. Liking that idea. I also saw a lot of what to me were like sampler patterns where you would use each color would be a different kind of a lace or pattern stitch, or maybe doing garter stitch with one color and then lace with the next color, something along that line. And that appealed to me, whether I purchased a pattern, not against purchasing a pattern, whether I purchased a pattern with that specific thing in mind, or, oh my gosh, grab one of my books, you know, the stitch books that I have, the stitch dictionaries that I have, and go, that one looks cool, let me do that. I mean, there's options. So I like that too. You know, and then there was another one that got me. And what they did is they did fingering weight yarn and added a strand of like a kid silk haze. Yeah, like, you know, just a mohair, fine thread or what have you. And then that was working up. They said it works up as a DK weight. Whatever. Okay, that's fine. Probably does. I don't know. So I like that idea. And then I had to come up here and rummage around. And I was like, where did I put that white fuzzy ball of yarn that I got for my daughter's hat? You know, the bland daughter's hat, the one that has like no color in it at all. Took me a while because it was in the bag with the other ball. Go figure. This is from, as Halo from the Alpaca Yarn Company. I mean, look at that. You know, so what do you think? I mean, I could run that white along with every color and it would mute the colors. It definitely would. It would mute them. It would blend them and give them more of a soft pastel-y kind of a thing to it. And it would be very soft and fluffy and airy and fuzzy. I mean, the thing's going to have to be hand washed anyway, so what does it matter? I mean, it's all hand washed fingering weight yarn, you know, that's fine. But I thought that might be really nice. And this particular yarn that I have, this is 78% brushed Surrey alpaca, 22% nylon, and it is 514 yards for that little ball. 514 yards. So I wouldn't need a ton of them, right? I just need a few more balls, you know, and however big I made said blanket, because I'm loving the idea of a blanket. My husband has his, and I made his out of the Wool Ease in the Red Heart brushed, and he loves it. He has that, and he has it draped over top of him, and he absolutely loves that. And I don't have a handmade blanket like that, because his blanket is the first handmade knit blanket that I made that was, you know, for an adult. That was the first time I did that. And of course I gave it to my husband because I love him and he's spoiled. So that was kind of fire in my brain. And then it was like, wait a minute. I started looking for this yarn. I'm like, okay, do they have a cream? The white's fine. The white would be fine. I could pick up more. I know where to get it. I got it. I could do it. Do they have a cream? No, they don't. They had some other really pretty colors, but they also have the yarn, and it's called Tickle. Do we remember this? It looks like a matted mess. It works up amazing. The yarn store owner, same place, had shown me this previously to work on a sweater. Yeah, that I promptly got to a part that I didn't want to play with anymore, and it's been hibernating and I kind of forgot about it. Do we remember this one? It's the Flourish. It is gorgeous. Look at that. That is stunning. So I got up to the armpits. It's knit in the round. I got up to the armpits, right? And then started doing this front back thing. I didn't like the front back thing. I don't have a problem going in the round. I didn't like going reverse because there's design elements on each side. It's not like do design on this side, only on the right side, and on the wrong side you're purling. No, there's design on both sides. So you have to switch the leanings, you know, leaning this way on one side, it's got to lean that way on the other to make it right. You know, it does. And my brain doesn't want to play with that. But I used this with these two. Now this is a fingering weight yarn. This is Malabrigo sock, because, you know, love my fingering weight yarn. Well, these are fingering weight yarns. Okay, we're there, right? Fingering weight, got it. This is so I don't have to do a swatch, because that's not happening. This, did I tell you what this is? To me, does that not look bulky to you? Doesn't that look bulky? It's not. It is a super fine stuff. Look at that. That's some fine. It's so fluffy. This is called Tickle. Lace weight, 55% baby alpaca, 21% fine merino, 24% nylon, 514 yards. Same yardage as this. They have the same yards, right? This just needs to be wound. I thought this would be a terror to wind. I really did. I wound one. It was a breeze. It didn't stick to itself. It was no problem. I was shocked. I would have bet you money that this was like a felted, knotted up mess that, yeah, it looks fine. You might like it. It feels amazing, by the way. But I would have said, well, felted, knotted up mess, I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going for it. Matter of fact, that is exactly what I had commented on. And the lady that owns the yarn store was like, no, check this out. Strand it with something else. It'll be amazing. She was right. Oh my gosh, was she right? Oh, you want to remember what it looked like? Yeah. I had to dig it out of... Why is it when it's stuffed in a bag, it not ties itself in knots? Why is that a thing? So right before I went on, I had to untangle it because, you know, it's not been touched for months. I don't remember how long, but it's not been touched for months. Here it is. This is the Malabrigo sock, and this is the Tickle. This is my second thing of the Tickle all wound up, ready to go, right? And let me see. So here's, you know, so I got 3 of each. I think that's what I did. Or I got 2. I don't remember. It's been a while. I really don't. All right, so let me see if I can, let's see if we can play with this. I have, you know, I have cables. I have big old cables attached to this. I got size 10 needles. Oh, that's where I was going with this. I'm like, how did this get involved? How did this get involved with my advent calendar? It wasn't making sense. That's right, because this is fingering weight and lace weight fuzzy stuff, and this is fingering weight and lace weight fuzzy stuff, right? And I'm like, well, what size needles would you use? I don't know, because I mean, that's lace weight tiny, right? I'm like, well, 4s is good with fingering weight. My sweater was made with 4s, right? And it does really well. And this is super tiny with the fuzzy, you know, keep it 4s, maybe go to 5s. That fluff is going to fill in the holes anyway. Okay, that's what I was thinking. No. Now my sweater, I used size 7s and for the I think 7s go for the collar up here, and I'm not there yet. And then the rest is 10s. I am on size 10s. Look at that. I'm just trying to hold it all together. So this is the, oh, come back, give me more yarn, be nice, share. So, okay, you can't read, this is not doing it justice. I can't put it on because it's attached there, so that's not going to work. I'm looking like, how do I do this? Okay, well, I wasn't planning on this. Let's see what we got. Oh, that's right, I hadn't tried it on. I didn't do a gauge of this thing either. And it looks great over top of the yellow, doesn't it? You're like, not really. Okay, what are we doing here? All right, so it's beautiful. Holes, should have had a white shirt on, but I wasn't planning on doing this. But that pattern goes back and forth. But the point is, this is size 10 needles with those 2 quantities of yarn. And, you know, as a lacy open work top thing. Yeah, you can see where I'm so close. I'm so close to the neck portion. Yeah, I've got to do this, and I got to do the back the same way. That's that back and forth thing. Oh my gosh, I did not like doing the reverse side. It was not hard. I just did not like doing it. So it went in hibernation for a while. When I was going on the round, it went really fast. I got this part done quickly. I don't remember how quickly, but I remember I was surprised. Okay, I'm getting out of it. I'm getting out. Oh my gosh. All right, so this is size 10s, and it's lacy, and you can see the pattern even with that, I know, bad color for picking up on the camera, but the pattern is visible. All right, I think for a blanket, I wouldn't use the 10s. I would still, maybe 6s, 5s, maybe 6s. Like I said, my shirt's 4s, and it's just the fingering weight. And that is 10s to being open. I was surprised, but that's how much the fuzziness blooms. So maybe somewhere in between a 4 and a 6 to be a little bit tighter, but still fuzzy and fluffy. That's what I was thinking anyway. Am I just adding more craziness to the mix? Maybe. And I did like the crocheted also for the chevron blanket and everything, you know. Ripple is what I grew up with it being called. But either way, it's the same thing. But I like that. I like both of them. So like, would I crochet? Would I knit? I don't know. Maybe knit because hubby has a knit blanket, right? You know, and I'm kind of like, he has a handmade knit blanket and I don't. I want a handmade knit blanket. I'm like, come on, I want one of those. You know, and it would be very light. There's no doubt, because this is extremely light right there. Oh, you can see the stitches a little bit, but boy, that color is not showing up nicely. I mean, these are the colors. This is not showing up. Fine. Cameras doesn't want to play. That's fine. So that is where that was going to go. Oh, you know, this box completely sidetracked today, by the way. 100%. So today's Tuesday, and this is one of the things that I wanted to do in the new year. I know we're not in the new year yet, but we're close enough. As I kept talking about Tackle It Tuesday, but smarter people than me are like, no, just call it Tackle It. And I like that better because the acronym is maybe not appropriate. Okay, so just tackle it. And then tackle it can be any day. So any other content creators that want to play along. And the whole goal of that is to pick something that has been languishing, oh, I don't know, like this, and give it a little love. I'm not saying get it done in a week. No, I'm not saying that. All I'm commenting is pull it out of hibernation, give it a little love, decide if you want to play with it or not. And there you go. And then what I was also thinking would be kind of fun is for me to, and I just haven't, you know, cleaned up stuff because I got sidetracked. Oh my gosh, did I get sidetracked? I got waylaid by this box, by the way. So I thought maybe pick 6, well, I can do more than that because, you know, I've got dice. Hubby's a gamer, so, you know, I got the up to the 20-sided dice, right? Pick however many projects that is, label the numbers for the projects, roll the dice, roll a 6-sided dice, roll a 12-sided dice, whatever, right? You know, I got 4-sided dice, do that. And then there you go, pick that one and work on that one for that amount of time. Just, and it's not a set amount of time, just a pull it out of hibernation, give it a little love. So my problem and issue with that, somebody had asked me not that long ago, how many whips do you have? I don't know. Well, just guess. No, I really don't know. Well, how do you not know? Because if I'm not actively working on it, I don't actually call it a whip. I know that sounds crazy. I have a lot of half-finished projects around here, to include that sweater that you just saw. You saw it with your own eyes. You visually saw it with your very own eyes. I don't count that. Now that I saw my face, I might have to. But there's a lot of things I have stuffed in bags and boxes and everything else. There are projects I've completely forgot about, have no patterns with them, don't, that type of situation. I don't count them as whips. It's yarn ready to be reclaimed. That's the way I look at it. Now, if it actually gets finished and grows up and becomes something, awesome. If it gets pulled out because I want that yarn for something else, that's fine too. So it's even though I want to do the tackle it. See, it can be any day, but a Tuesday and a Thursday, right? You see where I'm going with that? Yeah, you do. So even though that is my idea to do this, because I think it'll be a lot of fun to give some of my poor lost long, projects a little bit of love, because we all need love sometimes. And that was the goal. But I have to dig through everything and like, oh yeah, this is something that I haven't done. Here's an example. But wait, there's more. I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna make sure this chair goes. Oh, what do I have here? Okay. Ugh. Box is in the way. All right. So this is a box. Now, we moved into this house 2 years ago, and I had a yarn room previously. Now, my yarn room was not as big as this, and it has exploded, as in I've gotten more stuff. So when we moved, there were a lot of projects that I had, and as we packed, I had categorized all my yarn. Haven't done anything since then, but categorized all my yarn. I knew exactly what I had. I knew exactly where it was. That's been 2 years. So I have things like this. This is a little Ziploc bag of lace. It's purple lace. Now, do I know what this is? Not really. So what I have actually said, oh, I have that whip. You know that whip. Okay, so this is the Lost, no, this isn't the Lost Souls, but it's one of those like that with the skulls. Okay, great. I made like 7 or 8 of these things back in the day. Probably not going to finish this. This would be yarn, ready to be reclaimed. It's not big enough for anything. Not yet. I don't really plan on finishing it, so there you go. That would be reclaimed. I mean, it's beautiful, but I'm not into making skull things anymore, so I'm not going to finish it. That's all there is to it. I did it in the past, not doing it again. So there you have it. But I actually didn't know what was in this. I mean, how do you know what that is, right? It's just, so I'm going through fun stuff like this of, hey, what can we do? All right, what's this? This. So categorizing. What is it? Do I have the pattern? Am I going to do anything with it? Or is it just yarn ready to be reclaimed? Okay, so this does not have the needles. That is a fingerless mitt. It's one of them. That is the honeycomb type pattern. And it has the matching hat with it that is just so stunning. And I remember I made it on size 5s, made this on size 5s. Well, I took the needles out. The thumb is on a safety pin, so that's not going to unravel. The top, the size 5s, I ended up taking out. I may or may not have enough to finish that tiny little pair. So that would be a decision. What am I going to do with that? What else shall we find in here? I have no idea. I have not been in this bin for a long, long time. Let's see. Okay, bag of pink stuff. Bag of pink stuff. And yarn. Bag of pink stuff and yarn. What is this? Okay, so this is some nice yarn. This is Debbie Bliss Sublime Baby Cashmere Merino 4-ply. Beautiful pink, light pink. And there's a project started. Ooh, it's got little hearts on it. I think I have the pattern for that still. It's got little hearts on it, and the little hearts are just done with pearl. It's knit and pearl for the pattern relief. Okay, so that's a piece of said, ooh, there's needles in here. All right, so I'm obviously working on a very tiny baby sweater. Okay, that was for somebody at a yarn store like 3 or 4, 5, 6 yarn stores ago that, has since gone out of business. All right, so there's that. Do I just pull it out and just put the yarn back on my shelf? I mean, you know, so this is why I don't count them, right? This is why I don't. So these are literally in a place where they can be reclaimed. Oh, this is cool. This is a top that I was going to, I think there's 2 of them in here that I was going to make for my granddaughters, matching. They both had matching little tops. Well, they're not going to be, the 2 oldest aren't going to be able to wear this anymore, but if I grab it and put it together, I think I even have all the pieces. You know where I'm at with it? Sewing it together. And I think that's because I did grab hold of it previously and went, oh, how close am I? I'm really close. Let me put some work onto it. So look at that. Look at that yarn. What is that? This is Sweet Delight Prince. It's Baby B. Okay. That's nice. It's pretty. It's just number 3 weight, 60% acrylic, 40% polymate. I think that, you know what, that's what I'm using right now for my crocheted dress out of the new crochet book. I'm using this in a different color. So I have pieces. I have messy pieces. Like, I should do something with those messy pieces. What do you think? And I don't know, that's pretty cool. What's this? I don't really know what that is. I don't. I've got markers. I've got really pretty markers. I've got nice needles. I think it's a kid's top. I think it's a cardigans types thing. I think what it is something that's done on the bias. I think I can even find the pattern again. I think I can. It's done on the bias. It folds. See, how do you categorize this stuff? I mean, do you know, this is why I don't count them. I'd probably be demoralized if I counted all this going, oh, this is how many whips I have, whatever. I'm not working on it. It's not a whip. WIP stands for works in progress. These are not in progress. Therefore, they are not whips. I win. So, you like the logic? Yeah, I think it goes like this. And then, you know, it's just this V type thing. And then you fill in the shapes for the corners. I think I can find the direction or the pattern for that. But this is what I have left. So whatever it is, it'd have to fit within here. The yarn's beautiful. This is Viking, Nordell's Superwash Wool Viking Company. I mean, it's a 75% wool, 25% out. It's gorgeous. I love that. I've got a grandbaby coming up, a little boy. Maybe I should finish it. You know, and this is just the stuff on the top layer of the bin. I've got 2 of these, by the way, that are filled with, I don't know, stuff. They have stuff. Oh, this was a top that I was making for one of the grandkids. It's heavy. To crochet something, and it's my own whatever crossover design type thing, and I mean it's heavy. So I don't know. It's close if I want it to be done. I think the goal that I was planning on doing is doing the crossover and putting a brooch right here, something sparkly for the girls, right? And I've got enough yarn. Obviously, I changed my mind a bunch because you see how much is wound on that? So this is something I did on my own. This was not a pattern. This was just a, hey, this is a cool idea. I think I'm going to do that. So that's where I'm at. It's ready to be clipped there, and then, oh, I even put something edged on the sleeves already. That sleeve is already edged, like a reverse single crochet, the crab stitch. That's already edged. It's just a matter of, I think, putting a brooch on it and weaving in the ends. You know, or just rip the whole thing out. I don't know. I mean, if one of the kids doesn't want it, then what am I going to do with it? But yeah, I think that's what it is. It's just a, and the goal was maybe put ribbon or something through here, all the eyelets, so you can either make it tighter or not. I don't know. It's what happens when you try to make things on your own. Sometimes they work. Sometimes you look at them and you're like, I don't like that. It was beautiful here. It was amazing. All up in the head, it just was perfect. And then in execution, it wasn't. See? So that's your opinion on that one, or whatever you think on this one. I don't know though. I'm not sure. Should I finish that? Should I just like snip the ends, weave it in and everything, and sew that top front, that overlap so it doesn't gap? Sew that shut, put some little sparkly doodads on it and say, here, give it to one of the kids? I mean, it would be counted as finished. It really would. I mean, that's all I have to do is just kind of like weaving in some ends and put some little doodads on it. I mean, it's done. I don't know what the yarn is. There's no label right now. So that's just part of the stuff. And that's my idea on a tackle it, not tackle it Tuesday, just tackle it. We're dropping off the Tuesday, any day. I'm kind of going through some stuff, giving them a little bit of love, seeing what's going on. I know I've talked about that before, grabbing a project. It's overwhelming. It is I mean, I'll pull this one out because, like I said, I don't do skull things anymore. I'll pull that one out. That's an easy one. That's an easy win. Got it. But the other ones, if I can find the pattern for this, and I think I can. I think I might be able to find the pattern for this one again. I could finish that. It's not that far off from where, I don't know how many pieces are in it, but I could finish it and just have it for the next baby girl that is born. Whether it's one of my grandchildren, we got a little boy coming on the way, or somebody else's, but I could finish it and everything, have that as a finished project. This one, I think I would just pull out and maybe do it again if I wanted to do that particular pattern or something along that line. It looks like, yes, I use size 5s. I do remember that. But it looks like I was knitting pretty tight for that, for on size 5. So even if I decided to finish it, I'm not sure I could get my next mitten, the next fingerless glove, the same size. So I think this, so I think I've decided these two are just pull them out and reclaim the yarn. So that's kind of an easy one. But, the other ones right now, not really sure. And anytime you go through some of your older stuff, it is daunting. Well, maybe you're more organized, but if you were more organized, you wouldn't have all that stuff either. But it's a little daunting because what was I doing at that point? What was the mindset? Did my gauge change? That's a real thing. Am I interested or not? Because our taste changed. Something we loved previously, even if we come back and we could finish it, like this, I could easily finish that. I know where the pattern is and everything. That's not an issue. But it's not my taste any longer, so I'm not going to. So deciding on those things, or like on this, that it's beautiful. I would like this. I would actually like to have this finished. But even on that, it's like, okay, sit down, take a break, have a cup of coffee, don't spike it. Knitting, lace, and drinking is probably not a good idea. Just want to throw that out there. But, do that and relax, have a good headspace and go, okay, I'm going to figure out where I am. And sometimes that takes more time than you realize, or you just want to invest. And that's why I grab other things and I'm like, good, I'm going to go around and around and around. And then when I have to make a decision, then I put it down, and that's the issue. So that's my whole goal with a tackle it on once a week of grabbing something and deciding, what am I going to do with it? Give it a little love if that's what it is. Pull it out if that's really the right answer. And for this it is. Pull it out and reclaim the yarn going, okay, well, that's one less thing in that bin. That's one less thing. That's one, that's not wasted work. I enjoyed it when I did it. I wouldn't have done it. I had fun when I made it. When I was making it, I wouldn't have made it otherwise. It's just not my thing now. But I have a lot more stuff in here, and that's what I'm going to have to kind of go through and go, all right, where are we? Let's play. And this bin is more than a full video. Just this one bin of grabbing things, pulling them out, going down memory lane. What was I doing? What was I thinking? And, there's some things in here I'm like, oh, what the heck is that? I think we all have that. We all have that. So I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup this coming year. Yeah, just going through. We'll see how many things of the UFOs, because again, I don't call them whips. They're work in progress. These are not in progress. There's nothing in progress in this box. I can tell you that right now. There's nothing in progress. But kind of identifying some of those unidentified objects and doing something with them. I'm not saying I'm going to come in here and every week grab something and pull it out. Oh, no. But there are some obvious choices, and there, we can do this. All right. Let me know if you're doing anything like that, if you're going to do some clean up along that line. I was pretty thrilled. Like I said, I have one of these cubicles. It's actually right above the teddy bear. It's this cubicle right here. That I have the yarn that I'm working on for the crochet dress that I'm making. And then I've already got the next one picked out. Of course, I do. And the yarn is in this bin. And it's like, oh, look, I'm going to take out these things and everything. And I got all excited because you could see wall behind. So you can see right there the color of the wall. Yes, that's a pinky purple. I love it. But you can see wall behind there, which means I've emptied this cube some. I've made it a little smaller, and my cubes are stashed full. Yeah, they are packed full. So there's a lot of stuff in there. So being able to do that and to see that portion of it, I was really excited. And then hubby's like, you got more coming. I'm not upset. I'm not upset. I'm surprised. Shouldn't have been, but I am surprised. There you go. So play along with me. Tell me what you're doing. How are you coming along with this? What strategies do you have? Because we all have great strategies. We do. Doesn't mean we put them into fruition, but maybe the great idea that you have will work better for me than it does for you. So let me know what you have. And maybe my great idea will work better for you than it does for me. Maybe I just lose interest. I don't know. But that's why we share. That's why we're a community and we share. And put those things in the comments because other people read them and it helps all of us. All right, everybody. With that, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. You guys have a great day, night, evening, whatever it happens to be. And I will talk to you again later. Bye-bye.